The Battle of Cape Spada was a naval battle during the Battle of the Mediterranean in Second World War. It took place on 19 July 1940 in the Mediterranean Sea off Cape Spada, the northwestern extremity of Crete. Prelude. The battle occurred when an Allied squadron patrolling the Aegean encountered two Italian cruisers transferring from Tripoli to Leros, at that time an Italian colony in the Dodecanese Islands. The Allied squadron was commanded by the Australian Captain John Collins aboard the light cruiser HMAS Sydney and included the British H-class destroyers HMS Havoc, Hyperion, Hasty, Hero and the similar I-class destroyer Ilex. The Italian 2nd Cruiser Division was commanded by Rear Admiral Ferdinando Casardi and consisted of the high-speed light cruisers Giovanni dal Bandera and Bartolomeo Colleoni. Battle. When the Italians encountered the Allied destroyers at about 7:30, Sydney and Havoc were 40 miles to the north on a sweep for submarines. The other destroyers led the Italian cruisers on a chase northwards to give Sydney time to come to the rescue. Sydney sighted the Italians at 8:26, opening fire at 8:29, and the Italian cruisers turned away to the southwest. In the running battle which followed, Bartolomeo Colleoni was hard hit by Sydney and after a shell hit the boilers at 9:23 she stopped dead in the water. She fought on but was unable to maneuver or use the main battery, despite the fire from her 100mm guns. She was sunk by 3 torpedoes launched from Ilex and Hyperion at 9:59. Sydney continued to fire against Bandera. She was hit in the funnel by a single Italian shell, but managed to hit Bandera at least twice, killing 8 in the bow and the hangar. Later, Sydney disengaged because she was short of ammunition and Giovanni del Bandera returned to Benghazi, shadowed by the battleship HMS Warspite and a screen of destroyers. 555 survivors of Bartolomeo Colleoni were rescued, 121 died. The British destroyers were bombed by Italian aircraft in the aftermath, resulting in damage to HMS Havoc, whose N2 boiler was flooded. A float plane from Warspite, which was searching for Bandera, ditched in the sea and was lost near Tobruk. The crew was captured by the Italians. Allied convoy M2 was ordered to sail back to Port Said and remain there until it was eventually known that Bandera had reached Benghazi. Despite their speed advantage, the Italian cruisers failed to outrun HMAS Sydney because the most obvious route of escape to the south was to be changed to south-southwest, in order to avoid being trapped between the enemy and the shores of Crete. This gave the Australian cruiser the chance to close the range, as she did. The light armour of Colleoni and Bandera was unable to defeat Sydney's rounds. The lack of aerial reconnaissance was another factor contributing to the successful Allies' chase. Order of battle. Italy Rear Admiral Ferdinando Casardi Regia Marina. 2 light cruisers. Bartolomeo Colleoni, Giovanni dal Bandera. Allies Captain John Collins 1 light cruiser. HMAS Sydney 5 destroyers. HMS Hasty, Havoc, Hero, Hyperion, Ilex.